Hi guys, today I'm gonna do a video of all the series that I want to read in 2026. So these are series that either I want to read, like I want to start, or I want to catch up with the books that are currently out. So I'm just gonna start off with the number one series that's been like on my shelves forever and I've been wanting to read for a very long time. I had actually started this, I think earlier this year or maybe late last year, and I had put it down because it just wasn't the vibe at the time. But that is the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I'm actually planning on reading this like first thing in January just because I really want to read it. And I told myself that if a series is a trilogy or a duet, I just want to read them back to back, especially since this is completed. That would make the most sense for me, and just be fully immersed into the world. And like especially books like this where there's a more complex magic system, you're already learning all like the way everything works and all the world building. It would just be easier for me to just finish them back to back. Hopefully I could do like a reading vlog during the week where I'm reading this series. I would absolutely love to do this. I could just imagine like doing like a whole thing with I love those ambient videos, like maybe like a Game of Thrones soundtrack or something. I don't know, something fun like that. So that is gonna be the first one that I really want to read, and that has been on my physical TBR for a very long time. I then have like a pile of books beside me. This is new to me. I've purchased these on Black Friday because I saw so many good reviews, and a lot of the people who have the same taste as me really enjoyed it. So I thought, why not? I got Heavenly Bodies and Fallen Stars. I don't know how many books this series is supposed to be. It is not complete. These are the only two that are out. These were the Indigo special editions. They're very beautiful. I do know that it has to do with like astrology or astronomy. I don't know. Anyways, like it seemed very interesting, and I know this one kind of goes into like more like pirate type of fantasy stuff, which I love. A lot of people that I saw that did not like it is because they didn't like the pirate type of fantasy stuff. So we'll see about this. This is categorized as romantasy, if I'm not mistaken, not high fantasy like the Brandon Sanderson. The next series that I absolutely want to read next year is, or I should say reread, because I did start reading it. I just had not continued on, especially because I had started purchasing this series with the old version of the books, and now they redid all new hardcovers with beautiful art. That is the Witcher books. This is actually the prequel that came out this September. I'm so excited to read this. So what I'm gonna do is read this first, then reread The Last Wish. And I think the first one, I think it's Blood of Elves. So anyways, I'm gonna continue on. I only have 3 in these new hardcovers, the ones that I could get my hands on, because they're actually pretty hard to find like physically in the bookstores near me. I'm gonna actually try to see if at the hardcover sale this year I can get my hands on. I don't know if I mentioned, but this is a lot of fantasy books because most of the series I have are fantasy. So yeah, like I'm gonna do another video that's like 26 books I want to read in 2026. That's just books, like standalone books mostly, not series. I wanted to keep that separate because I feel like it's a whole other category. So that said, the next one that I want to, I'll say, finish is Throne of Glass. I actually made it halfway through the tandem read last year. And notice how I say last year, not 2025, 2024. I made it halfway and then put it down because I was just not into it. Nothing wrong with the actual story. I think it was just, I was kind of going through like a slump and I never picked it back up. I am unsure if I'm gonna reread the whole series yet. Maybe I think I'm just gonna reread as of Heir of Fire, because I do remember I had read already Throne of Glass twice. Like I remember everything that happened in Assassin's Blade, Crown of Midnight. I do also remember Heir of Fire, but still I feel like if I would, Heir of Fire is really where it really starts to shift into something bigger. So I feel like maybe just starting the reread from there. So rereading that and Queen of Shadows, and then continuing with this, and then Kingdom of Ash, which like I had printed out the whole like sheet where it tells you, I got this from Pinterest, I think, where it tells you like what chapters to read in order so that you get the best out of the experience. If you're not familiar, these books in the series come one after the other, but they happen during the same time. So you kind of get more out of it by reading it in tandem. It's just, I thought it was just a fun experience. So definitely will be reading this this year. I swear to God, if I don't finish Throne of Glass in 2026, like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be so sad. I definitely have to finish that, especially with like, I think there's a new ACOTAR book supposed to come out in 2026, so we'll see. Anyways, so the next up, is the Saga of the Unfated. This is actually a duology, which is great. I love duologies, and I also love Danielle L. Jensen. This is A Fate Inked in Blood and A Curse Carved in Bone. These are like Viking fantasy. I think they're more romantasy from what I was told. And these editions are also pretty nice. They're reflective edges and the art is really nice. I keep seeing some really cool like fan art and quotes and stuff from this series, or this duology, so I really can't wait to read them. I have a hold on the audiobooks for these at my library, so hopefully they come in soon. I think it was like 6-week wait or something like that, so I'm sure I'll be able to get them very shortly and read them through audiobook. I read The Bridge Kingdom. I think there's 2 more books now that I'm not up to date with, but Bridge Kingdom is really like separate. Like, it's kind of like interconnected standalones, but they're not all standalones. They're kind of like duets. It's hard to explain, but the 3rd and 4th book in The Bridge Kingdom I did through audio, and the narrators were great. So I don't know if it's the same ones, but her books are very easy to understand. Like, if you're not really like seasoned into fantasy and high fantasy and whatnot, and you just want fantasy but more simple, definitely pick up Danielle's books. They're really, they're really fun, and you get the fantasy and the escapism, but without like a super complex magic system that you might find in like Brandon Sanderson or like Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. So definitely recommend her books, but I can't wait to read the next series I have to finish, and it's finish/catch up, so you'll see what I mean. This is the Flesh and Fire series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have to read the last 2 books, and so that's a completed series. But in the same world, you have like the From Blood and Ash, and that's actually, I have the latest book, which allegedly was supposed to be the last book, is now not the last book anymore, and it's huge. And I'm like, how much more could you have to say? And I get it, like, I really like the characters, but I mean, oh my God, like, I'll see, depending on how this goes, I'll see if I'm even gonna continue with this series, but I at least want to catch up with it. I had pre-ordered this. I did not know it was this many pages. I don't usually look at page count when I buy books, because if a story is interesting to me, I'll read it regardless, right? But this is, like, I thought her books are already, like, they need some editing. Even though I enjoyed the stories and the characters, this is just, oh my God. Oh my God, it's so much. Not that I don't like reading big books, but like, there needs to be, a purpose for it. Anyways, we'll see with this, if I'm gonna continue on with it. I really don't know, but at least I'll have been there. I like to tell people, like, if some people are interested in like the Blood and Ash series, I always say, like, just read Blood and Ash and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. Those are my 2 favorites still to this day. And I'm like, you know what, you could read those 2, and then just maybe like go get like a summary for the other ones if you don't want to, spend all this money or waste all this time. Not that it's wasted time, but if you don't think you're gonna enjoy it, or you have a hard time going through, chunkers of books, because they just get increasingly bigger from what you can see. So anyways, that is my I think it's my last romantasy on this list. Next up, I have A Song of Ice and Fire, which the first book is Game of Thrones. I've had this on my shelves since like maybe last spring, not that long ago, but I have been wanting to read these for a long time. I just got a really good deal at my thrift, what do you call it? Like thrift books, whatever. It's like a secondhand bookshop. So I pretty much got the whole series in paperbacks, like with my vouchers for, oh shit, for the store. So, I really want to read this, and I plan on reading like a book a month and watch the season that goes with the said book. So like I'll read this in January and then, you know, like watch the whole season 1, so on and so forth. I really want to do it that way to get the most out of it. And, you know, having a visual also is so fun. I know, you know, it's everyone knows it's an incomplete series. What is it? Book 8 is missing. 8 or 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Book 6? Am I missing a book? Okay, whatever. Either book 6, 7, or 8 is missing. The last one is missing. The end of the show apparently is not very good. I don't have any spoilers for this series other than one character that passes away that, you know, everyone knows about that. I'm not going to say it in case you don't know, but I don't even know how it happens. What's the context? Nothing. So not having spoilers for a series that's been out for that long is very, you know, very lucky of me. But I can't wait to get into it. Like, I love those types of shows. And yeah, like, I don't know what else to say. I've just always been, you know, intrigued. The show, I just heard good things about it, except for the ending, and we'll see. Maybe one day we'll get the last book. Who knows? Maybe. Then I have Empire of the Vampire. I've read half of this book. I still have not finished it. I have the audiobook. I started with the audiobook, which I think was my mistake because there's a lot of dialogue in here, a lot of characters. There's also beautiful art in the book, which, you know, like, reading this physically would probably be the best way to go. And maybe if I would want to reread it on audio, then that would make more sense. Or do immersive reading. However, I think I'm going to just read it physically. I have the second one. And the third one came out in November. So my plan is to read this soon so that I can decide if I want to continue with this series. To be fair, I really don't think I'm gonna like not like this because I love vampire books, and from what I've read so far, I really loved it. I like this style of writing. And like I'm like a huge vampire fan. I love like Castlevania. I love like the Silver Under Nightfall. Like, I love all that type of stuff. So I'd be very surprised if I don't enjoy this. Yeah, like if I could finish this soon, then I'll see if I can like get the third one at the hardcover sale. Try to, you know, save some coin. But yeah, I don't know what happened. This one is huge. The second one is like this big, and then the third one that came out is again this huge. So I don't know what happened, but anyways, yeah, this also need to finish this one and catch up with the books that are currently out. Then I have Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch, which is also a duet. This is romantasy. As you can see, there's a bookmark, so I kind of was planning on starting this very soon. Again, duology, I would read these back to back. I'll just see if I'm gonna read them like now or just after Christmas, because I want to get in some Christmas books. But anyways, this again was super popular on like BookTok, BookTube, whatever. So I don't tend to purchase books just because of the hype anymore, but I purchased both of these after some research and deciding that I was probably going to enjoy it a lot. And they're not so long, and the writing, like the book it's pretty, you know, like they're shorter than they seem. So I'm sure this will be a good time. Again, series romantasy that I want to finish up. Then we're gonna finish with fantasy, which is great because I don't have to lift all these heavy books anymore. I have a few romance series that I would like to either start or finish. You know, some of them are interconnected actually, yeah, some of them are interconnected standalones, but most of them is actually like series. So there's some that I don't have physically. So number one is the Deception trilogy by Rena Kent, which is like Russian mob dark romance trilogy. Yeah, I already said that. It's 3 books. I would read that back to back. I loved the Monster trilogy, which I read last January or February. So definitely want to get into that. And there's also the Edge of Darkness trilogy by Lee Rivers. I see everyone raving about it. Have not heard one bad thing. A few of my close friends also recommended it, so that's also on my list. The only reason like those two are not like high priorities because I don't have them physically. I can read them on KU, but I want to prioritize my physical books as I've been this year, but really like lean lean into it even more this year. So they're on the back burner for now. I would probably maybe like download them if I'm going on a trip and I know I can't bring physical books anyways, so I'll just have them on my Kindle. But yeah, so we'll see when I read them, but I really want to read them soon. Like I've been missing like dark romance. I haven't read some in a long time except for Sweet Venom, but like I've been out of it too much. So anyways, those are the two that are not on my physical TBR. I also have, yeah, the Legacy of Gods series. I'm only missing God of Wrath and God of Fury physically, but I do have all the other ones physically. I so far only read God of Malice. I didn't enjoy it that much, but I was told that it's the least good out of the series from multiple people. And this is interconnected standalone again. And also by Rena Kent, if I didn't mention it, Legacy of Gods is like, I would say it's probably her most popular series because it's the one that I hear everyone talk about all the time. So I would assume it's her most popular series. But so that would tie in with reading a lot from my physical TBR as well as, reading some like dark romance books that I want to finish. Again, Rena Kent. I think my next year's like Fable or Goodreads wrapped up is gonna be like your number one author was Rena Kent. The Vipers series, which if I'm not mistaken is only gonna be 3 books. I read Beautiful Venom and Sweet Venom already. That Sweet Venom just came out, so but the 3rd book is Preston and Marcus's book. That's coming out next year. I don't remember when. I'm gonna assume it's around like late summer or fall, so August, September, October maybe, that I want to finish. I think that's gonna be my favorite book out of the whole series. Can't wait to read that. And that's gonna be a completed series once I've read it. Then I have I was under the impression that this is the last book in the Playing for Keeps series by Becca Mack. I haven't read it yet. I had pre-ordered it, received it. I just haven't been in the mood. And anyways, any hockey romance you're gonna see me read in the winter. If you catch me reading a hockey romance in the summer, I don't know what's going on. Because I usually read like based off vibes and like the season. And where I live, I do have 4 seasons. And the summer is very hot and the winter is very cold. So this, type of book I would probably just read in the winter. I love the series so far, and I just saw a lot of people like crying and stuff, which again, never cried at a book, but probably won't, to be honest. I want to read it. I have a feeling that maybe that's why I've been pushing off reading it. I have a feeling that this is going to be my least favorite book just because of the subject matter. It has to do with like someone having like fertility issues and whatnot, and like that affecting like the 2 main characters' relationship. So like I don't want to seem like cold-hearted, but I didn't even see what the synopsis was, and even if I would have seen it before pre-ordering it, like I still would have bought it because I love this series and I want to read it. But I just have a feeling it's gonna be my least favorite, just because I don't want to read about that really. So I don't know, we'll see. So that is, yeah, this I think would be finishing the series or catching up with it. Again, I'm not sure if the series is complete or not. I kind of heard that there's going to be another book after this, but anyways, that could just be some rumors on Bookstagram. So we have this, and then, oh, something else that I wanted to read. Again, not on my physical TBR, but I've heard so many of my friends speak good things about Lola King's books, and I think the North Shore series was really popular, but that author I've never read before, also on Kindle Limited, so I could make good use of that. Yeah, definitely gonna maybe look into that again, like if I'm traveling and stuff and I just want to download some stuff on my Kindle, probably have it, probably have some of her books read. And yeah, I think that's it for like the romance series. Like honestly, like I know I don't have that many. Like there's a lot of the series that I was into, they finished. Like the Rose Hill series wrapped up this year. I finished reading, I was reading what's it called? Oh, the Gold Rush Ranch series, the Fox Brothers series, the 3 books, they're right there. Finished those. The Windy City series finished this year. I'm so sad. Oh my god, that was so good. I'm so sad that it's over. Like I don't know, so maybe recommend me some, like leave in the comments some good romance series, even if they're just like interconnected standalones. I've heard some people talk about like the, what is it called, the Bittersweet Symphony duet by Kate Stewart. I've heard a lot of good things about that. It doesn't have to be dark romance, it can be like any like interconnected standalones. Anyways, I do have a few romance books on my physical TBR, but actually not that much. The few that I have are more summary, so I'm willing to get some recommendations to start new series. And yeah, so that was all the series that I want to start reading in 2026 or catch up, whatever. Like I said, drop down in the comments if you have any recommendations, even if it's for romantasy and fantasy series. I really want to read more romantasy this year, like this coming year, because I've been kind of out of it for quite a while. Like I did not read many fantasy books this year at all. I don't know why, but I just haven't. So anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to, put a comment, like, subscribe, all the things that they tell you to do so that it can help the channel. Thank you so much.